Well, I'm feeling good after game two because it was looking like this was going to be another nail biter down to the last second. The Nets completely fell apart in the fourth quarter. There was a long stretch where they barely scored at all. And some of it, look, the individual defense of the Celtics, I mean, how many guys stripped Kevin Durant in this game? I remember one that was Grant Williams, definitely. I mean, KD had 6 turnovers. I want to say Tatum ripped him at least once or twice. You know, KD's never been an elite ball handler, but he's always been good enough pretty much. But I don't know what it is right now, man. Like, we can talk about the Celtics scheme and, leaving certain guys open and the switching, which is forcing the Nets into just a super ISO heavy offense, which they kind of already want to play. And it's leading to them taking an insane amount of long 2-pointers to where even if they go in or don't go in, the math is just so against them right now. But even so, it's like, what the hell's going on with Kevin Durant right now? There's also been missed pull-up jumpers, and I remember in the fourth quarter there was one time Tice didn't get up high enough on him on the screen. I thought it was going in. KD missed that one as well, and sure, you're going to get your missed shots, but Kevin Durant is just bothered by the Celtics defense right now. They did try some stuff early on in the game of having KD screen, and he cut one time from the corner. This was like in the first quarter, and I thought that that's the route we were going to be going in to get him some more open looks. But then in the fourth quarter, man, I mean, it was like KD ISO or Kyrie ISO or one screen. And besides that one time where they brought two to KD and it was a wide open floater for Bruce Brown, it was just like, all right, we're just going to do some AAU, we're better than you basketball. But KD either got ripped or the shots just weren't dropping. And, you credit Tatum and Grant Williams and just the switching defense and all that. But it's a little bit of everything, man. It's number one, you just straight up expect more out of Kevin Durant right now, even if he did still have a lot of trips to the line. And also, the Nets, they just need a little bit more juice in the offense. I'll have to go back and look at their possessions in the fourth. There's a chance they did this, and just in the heat of it all, I missed it. But was there a single KD screening for Kyrie play in the whole fourth? I mean, that in and of itself should lead to something, right? I don't know, but that's number one. The Nets' offense in the fourth was horrific. And of course, the Celtics, loads of credit for it, but also, like, I mean, they just need adjustments, and they need them real quick. Besides that, the one play to me that just like sums up the growth of the Celtics team, fourth quarter, Jason Tatum, he's had a rough game. The Nets had some defensive adjustments like putting Bruce Brown on him, and it was a whole lot of just ignoring guys between Grant Williams, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, and Drummond's on Tice instead of Seth Curry on Tice. I'll eventually get back to that play I was leading into. But it just allowed the Nets to like really load up inside, and there were times where it was like, wow, this Nets defense is just kind of smothering right now. But the play I'm talking about was the screen that Tatum had. I forget who had the ball, but he screened, he rolled to the rim, and Jaylen Brown was on the wing. Tatum gets it to him right away, catch and shoot three. Beautiful, right? That play was not happening at the beginning of this season, or if it was, it just wasn't going to be that refined. Like Tatum knew exactly what to do in that moment, and they had Tatum screening a lot in the fourth quarter. There was a play not long after that where he screened. It led to Kyrie on him, and then Kyrie fouled him, and there you go. And then I think that three that Tatum had over Dragic, which pretty much sealed the game, that one I think was also off of a Tatum screen. So even as the Nets were just doing everything they could to pack in the paint, and yeah, they were willing to give up 3 straight Grant Williams threes and all that, the Celtics were like, all right, Tatum, you're going to set a whole lot of screens, and I think that woke up the offense a little bit more. Daniel Tice was way better on offense in this game. 15 points, 7 for 9 from the field. And I mean, I remember in game one, I was saying to myself, man, they're really just like not caring about Tice at times. And for this game, he was more active off ball, which led to him getting like right place, right time, 12-foot jumpers or whatever, which he made. And there was also one where it was like this awkward like fadeaway where he was right in front of the rim. He banked it in over Kevin Durant. Horford continues to be great as well. So what can the Nets tell themselves for game three? Well, honestly, after game one, I was more like, listen, Kevin Durant didn't shoot well, he'll be fine. At this point, it's like, all right, more cuts for KD, more screens on the ball, having him get down screens. Granted, the Celtics switch all of that stuff, which again does sort of encourage the Nets to get into that super ISO heavy style that they had in the fourth quarter there. But it's been determined at this point, like, Kevin Durant's just not going to have an easy time. So as much off-ball stuff as you can run for the guy that I'm not smart enough to think of, you got to do it. The other thing with this game was that Horford and Grant Williams combined went 6 for 9 from outside. If they go 3 for 9. Like, yeah, that's technically only 3 points, but that's 3 more possessions going the other way. That could have been the difference, but the Celtics have gotten so good at getting the ball to the other side of the floor where typically those guys are at before the other team can close out to him, and Grant Williams has also just gotten way better from outside.